Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Strange Investigations. As always, I'm your host, Ron Swanson. Now, today we're going to be doing a little different type of a video. Today we're going to talk about how you can stop being average. You don't have to just be another statistic, another pawn for the elites and the government to use. You don't have to just be able to be used like an algebraic formula. You can be something special. You can get out of the system, and that's how you beat it. You don't beat the system by working up and through. You beat the system by working up and around. So yeah, let's get right on into it. So right off the bat, I want to talk about why why this system is the way it is and why most people don't break out of it. So the way the system works is it gets you to just devalue your time and not really care about anything other than, your little bit of free time on the weekends, where it turns into most people using it just to get a little bit of stimulation, just instant stimulation, just a little bit of happiness out of nowhere. That's why people turn to video games, we'll say, something that doesn't bring you a lot of long-term happiness, or drinking or smoking, things like that. So the way it builds this up is through the school system. From your early days, both the public and private school systems, most of private schools do this and all public schools do this, where you are going to be working about 5 days a week most of the time, and you're going to have these 7 to 8 hour days. And if you're not aware, the average human can only work about 3 to 4 hours of legitimate hard work a day. So this just completely mentally tires you. You don't have the energy to build yourself up and to focus on your passions, building some wealth, building relationships. Instead, you just go home and get this instant stimulation, as I was talking about earlier, because you were so mentally worn out from an 8-hour day, because humans just really can't function on that much hard work. And if you're not mentally worn out by the end of the day, it means you didn't put in your full effort, meaning that you're going to be left behind a little bit by everybody else. So yeah, that's just kind of how the system starts to build. And the way they want you like this is that way they can control you when you're going to work. Because when you're so mentally worn out and you're just used to being like that, they can control you, they can make you work longer days, they can tell you exactly what to do and you'll mindlessly do it just because you're just so tired of the day and you just want to get everything you have to get done and move on. So now you've just become another statistic, another number, because you haven't had the time to build these relationships. You haven't had the time to work on your passions. That's a really big one. Do what you're passionate about. It'll make your life so much more enjoyable. And then also just building up a wealth, because obviously wealth is a big part of getting out of the system. Once you build up a little bit of wealth, you're not so reliant on it. So yeah, let's get on to the next point. So now we're going to start talking about how you actually get out of this system. So what you need to do is, from an early age, it's better the younger you start. You can still do this if you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s even, I guess. But the earlier, the better. So what you want to do is start building up your passions. You want to start working towards whatever you're passionate about. Because while we are tricked into thinking, education is all that's going to matter in life, that's not true. It's going to be actually accomplishing stuff. That's what employers are going to look for. That's what colleges are going to look for. So even if you want to work through the system, building up your passions is still important, because that's what people look for in hiring and applications. Because, it's what differentiates you from everybody else. There's a reason that most people don't get into Harvard even if they have these 4.7 GPAs, these insanely high GPAs. It's because they don't have something that they put a lot of time and passion into, while the people that get in had something else. They had something special. There's a reason why all the elites send their kids to these Ivy League schools. There's a reason why their kids almost always get in, because there's something special. They were brought up out of the system, and the colleges realized that, so they wanted to bring these kids in and grow them even more. So, yeah, start working on what you are passionate about. Maybe it's a sport. Put a lot of time into that sport. It's a great way to start branching out and finding new relationships, for one. Even if you get older, obviously there are adult leagues out there, and you will have all these new opportunities to find connections with people, and those are what's really are going to last and make you happy long term. Maybe is what we're going for, of course, is the long term happiness. So start building your passions, and if it's a sport, again, it's going to start building a little bit of discipline in you. It's going to make you stronger because you have to put your time towards it. And it's something you're actually going to enjoy your time with. It's going to give you happiness over a longer amount of period, other than the short-term stimulation we get from like video games, or maybe for you it's drinking, or I'm sure you guys can think of some other stuff like that. So yeah, start putting your time. Maybe it's an instrument. Instruments are great. It's something that it takes a lot of work. It's hard to learn, but it's something that you're always gonna know and always gonna be able to use again to build more relationships, build them up. It's something you're gonna be proud of. Something that's gonna bring you happiness forever. So yeah, start building up your passions, and then if you're really lucky, one of the things you're passionate about is a career choice. Maybe there's a career that you've always wanted. Start looking into how you can obtain that career and start building towards that. Start building up so you can do something you're happy with. That way you're not just living for the weekends your whole life. Because when you do that, it dramatically reduces the amount of happy life you actually get to live. Because when you're only living for the weekends and you just want your time to go away, your life starts to shrink. Obviously you get about a fourth of, not even really, about a fourth of your life left when you only live for the weekends. So yeah, find something you like doing and focus on it. All right, so the next thing I really want to focus on is building up relationships. This is what's going to also, along with your passions, is going to make you happy long term. It's something that will always be there. People, when you're just alone, you're going to be sad. It's hard for humans to be isolated creatures because we're not. You're going to want to build a family at some point. You're going to want these friends. So, again, these things that you're passionate about, start using them to find people that have similar passions, and you guys can meet up, and then now you've started to build these relationships. Don't be so scared to talk to people, obviously, because guess what? These people are going to forget about you in an hour or 5 minutes even. These people won't even think about you in 5 minutes if they don't want to talk to you. But hey, if you find a relationship, that's something that's long term. You're taking the risk of 5 minutes of embarrassment for maybe a lifetime of joy. So start talking to people, branch out. Don't be so isolated. I know it's easy. It's easier just to live in isolation because you don't have to take these risks, but it's worth it. Trust me, it is 100% worth it. All right, so finally, the last point on how to just kind of get out of this system is to try to see the bigger picture on everything. The news is always just going to feed you one part of the story, one side. This doesn't matter. Maybe you're a CNN fan, a Fox News fan, or whatever crap you're listening to. They're going to feed you the side of the story they want you to hear. And all these companies are owned by the same company, BlackRock, which I will be making a video about that company. They're all owned by the same people, so they maybe are pretending to show you different sides, but they're all really the same. They're all showing you the same story. They're all just this big media. So you need to start seeing the bigger picture. I know in schools you're taught don't look at these guys that have these, smaller audiences that aren't proven, these sketchy sites, they'll call them. But in all reality, these are the people that are going to try to be bringing you the bigger picture. These are the people that actually care. So start listening to people with smaller audience. Start listening to sites that don't look as well done. Don't put all your trust into it, obviously. You're going to want to check everything you hear because there are still liars even in the small audience. There's still other people who don't get their facts right. So yeah, don't blindly trust these people. But guess what? These smaller sites are more trustworthy than like your CNNs or your Foxes or these big sites that you're taught from a young age are trustworthy and can be listened to as a legitimate source. So don't be afraid to start trying to find the bigger picture, because the bigger picture is what's going to lead you into a way of life where you're out of the matrix, where you're starting to see the whole, where you are starting to pick up on all the strings attached to your life. You can start branching out yourself. You can start becoming a better person. Yeah, focus on yourself, guys, as well. Here's another point. Again, this comes to the passion and relationships part. Focusing on yourself is what you want to do. Become a more informed person. Become stronger. Go to the gym, or even if you can't go to the gym, work out. Do body weight exercises. We love to use all these excuses. Oh, the gym's too far away. Oh, it costs too much money. Do push-ups then. Push-ups are great. Push-ups don't require any equipment. They require you and a floor. And we all have a floor somewhere we can use. Even if you don't own it, I guess, go outside and, just do push-ups in the middle of this, not street, sidewalk, I guess. It doesn't matter. We all have an ability to get stronger. Go for runs. Go for mile jogs. It will make you a stronger person, a healthier person. And you're going to want to build up your health as well, because that's going to lead to a longer, healthier life. And that's what we want, because health is also going to be a big part of bringing you that happiness. All right, now I'm going to start talking about why the system is pushing you down, why it tries to make you feel insignificant, why it tries to turn you into just another statistic. And that's just it. When you're a statistic, you can be algebraically moved by the elite. They can predict what you're going to do next. It makes it so they can predict like the markets because they know what the average person is already going to do. They have this way of seeing what you are. They have a way of seeing the just simple numbers that we all make up. So when you get out of this system, they can no longer control you, and they don't want that. They don't want you to feel free. And because when you feel free, you're open to do new things, open to do stuff that you weren't capable of doing before. So they try to push you down, and you got to get back up, because when you stay down, that's when you become just another number. They try to do this from an early age in the education, as I was talking about before. Try to make it so you devalue your time, so you are overworked. It puts stress on you, so you don't want to work on things that you actually enjoy, and you become reliant on the stimulation which they use to control you itself. So yeah, the more you allow the system to take control of you, the less power you have over your life. So stop it. Stop being just average. Stop accepting that your life is just going to be nothing significant, because you have the power to make it significant. You have the power to put a mark on other people's lives. You have the power to do something for the good of other people. And that's what you need to work towards. That's what you need to do. Thank you for listening, boys. This has been Strange Investigations, signing off. Peace out. God bless. See ya.